Hey, this is Pete Saronis with Dots and Bridges. I'm here today for my weekly chat with the president of On Point Consulting, Samara Schulman, who I got to see this week on March 5th at the GSA Auditorium for one of our awesome events that the federal government puts on, which addressed quantum computing, quantum information science, artificial intelligence, data governance. And Samara, I'm interested in some of your feedback from the event itself.
Yeah, Pete, great seeing you as always. And just kudos to you for helping to plan such an amazing event. I mean, just from the get-go, I mean, you just named the things that they talked about, but even the sessions were different than what you usually see. I mean, we've all been to different sessions and conferences and webinars on AI and everything, but this was a set of people who are top in their field in government talking about AI and fraud. And to hear from the Social Security Administration what they're doing and that they're specifically picking out dialogue and comparing tapes and figuring out where the sources are coming from and who's using AI and who's going to be getting good at using AI. I mean, it was just a spectacular program.
Well, let me jump in because that's making me, feel really good because it was a collective effort. But yes, I just want to affirm that our intent was to showcase people we don't normally see. You talk about Mr. Chad Bungard at Social Security Administration, Chief Strategy Officer for the IG at SSA, and I just met him there for the first time. But he was so passionate, such a storyteller, and I mean, what was it? Slam the Scam Day was the thing that they're focused on when it comes to fraud, and the fact that there's a week of understanding how we're going to tackle fraud, which is a real problem. But yeah, one day, quantum and AI and having that data governance perspective is going to help mitigate those risks.
I was going to build for 1 second on the Slam the Scam. How about that they start talking about their posters hanging up in Walmart and Starbucks on Slam the Scam? It's like, oh man, now we know that is coming from government. That was born out of government.
So let me pivot to that because this is another thing about it was a full day, right? We had 200 plus people in the room. We had overflow, and I'm interested in having you there. And this feedback and this conversation really matters because we want to do more of this. And we hear this phrase a lot, the whole of government approach. And I was thinking before we jumped on today, I think it should be a whole of government and industry approach. The government is doing its part and industry does its part, but I still think there's this gap, this chasm. And I was talking to Claire Martirana throughout, and I just was thanking her for bringing together this community of councils, federal leadership, to your point, folks we don't normally hear from. I did feel like we conveyed real mission impact in the case of safeguarding our digital lives in the emerging quantum era, designing the future for data security. And maybe we're actually helping industry understand this is hard on the government side too, as much as it is to break into the government and partner with them. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think industry and government need to be just together at the hip with all of this and just walking step in step. It felt like from an industry perspective, we were getting a look behind the curtain. And while we definitely have government participating in different panels and great organizations bringing in both industry and government, this started differently. This started with the CIO Council saying, all right, what interests us and what do we want to get out there and what do we want industry to learn? So it was just a much different feeling to me that the conversation seemed very organic. And like you said, Pete, these are some people who probably have never spoken with each other before, but we're all concerned about the same thing: security and zero trust and data and the speed of technology and artificial intelligence, and how are those going to all come together? So just to circle back, I think it's got to be open government and industry just step in step.
Well, let's do this because I know we're all about bits, bytes, insights, feedback. I'm already thinking we should break some of that down in our next chat and examine some of these mandates that come out because it's not easy. And businesses have to recognize it's not a silver bullet solution. We're talking about the future and the emerging tech and threats. So let's leave it at that. I appreciate this feedback. I will take this back to our planning committee.
I heard from Rob King at DOE saying that the CDO Council is going to start having programs like this as well. So I'm looking forward to all of these. Kudos to UP, kudos to government for hosting programs like this.
You made my day. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.